Good afternoon. My name is Scott Redler, Chief Strategic Officer at T3Live.com. Welcome to today's recap and look ahead. So, for a quiet day to the downside with a little digestion, I think there was a lot of movement. We came in today with a numerous amount of positions looking for some small follow-through on some of the stronger names and some consolidation on what's been on a tear, and then for some catch-up with some of the sectors that have been left behind. And today, a lot of things kind of, just met in the middle somewhat. If you follow me and you read my note, you'll know what I'm saying. So let's just get right to it. First things first, S&P cash. S&P cash is doing very well. Remember I talked to you about the post-Brexit move. You had your V bottom, boom, boom, digestion. Then it took it out, and you had a nice 80-handle move higher before it settled in a range. Well, here you had something very similar. You had your first move before, when everyone was worried on what kind of outcome we would have with the election and the rhetoric and the this and the that. Well, anyway, here is your V bottom. We broke above this descending trend line, held here for 3-4 sessions, and then today we had what we call a narrow range 7 bar, the narrowest range pretty much since the election. So the question is this a little bit of digestion before taking out this pivot to go to all-time highs, which I do think happened at some point, or do they shake the tree a little bit and want to test the 8-day and just expand the range and keep things digesting with the oscillator of plus 50. So at this point, things still look very constructive. But you have to really pick and choose what sector you want to be in and when. If you look at some of the ones that took off, like the small caps, still hanging around. Very, very constructive. Look at this. They can't even pull this thing in at all. This was your breaking of the descending trend line, and now it's been flagging above this whole range. So at some point, it'd be nice if you could, be involved here and take this out to the upside for continuation. Still extended from the 8-day and the 21-day, but they can't pull this in at all. So that's, healthy. The Dow Jones made the new highs first. Everyone's worried, that it's not broad-based enough. Well, all in all, still very healthy. Nice upper level, 8-day catching up. It'd be nice too if this could hang here and then take this off to the upside. It would be a little probably more frustrating if it hangs here and then fails, because some people who missed this fast and furious move might be trying to position here for some digestion for a high-level flag for continuation, but we shall see. Really where the action has been technology. If you follow my note, we talked about the Qs, and the Qs gave us a nice 2-day catch-up play. Yesterday we made some money there, and even today. The Qs held pretty firm, okay? And now doesn't look as bad as it looked a few days ago. Does it look like it's ready to take out all-time highs? No. But, you held the 200-day. You had a gap up yesterday, and then today it held higher, and then it even closed with some strength. So at this point, it's reclaiming some of the moving averages. It's starting to repair, and we'll see if at some point, maybe this trend gets taken to the upside. But overall, we needed the technology sector to find some strength off the lows and oil in order to potentially get, the spiders to all-time highs, because it's been lagging. So here, too, you had your descending channel here. Here is your consolidation above it. And now we'll see what happens. You have a narrow range bar here with the spiders that correlate to the S&P cash, and maybe it'd be nice if we could, own some, which I do have some, and then be able to buy more for a move to all-time highs and play catch-up with some of the other strong sectors. If it happens to fail here, still fine, considering where it came from. It just, won't be as fast. Some tech names had some bounces, but again, all of high beta tech is below the 8-day, below the 21-day. So some of these things are reclaiming the 8-day to get to the 21-day, or just getting there. So, if you're playing a bounce, you have to just make sure where it can go. I have to give some props to the VTF today. When Target came out with their news, they talked about the demand on Apple products. So that gave a lot of us a little bit of just a look to get long it, and it showed relative strength and went from red to green first. Look at this move in Apple. Okay, nice move here. First time in a while. You could have been a buyer when it cleared this little pivot. We like to buy when things clear pivots. So I was not in Apple today. I bought it when it went green and took out this 107.68, and I'm still in some. I don't think it's going to be a blockbuster move, but you would think closing this strong, maybe you get another $1. Okay, and for active traders making money today with a little bit of long, this looks like it's in the game for it. Okay, basically it was a sell after earnings when it never filled this gap, and now just you're trading maybe a viable bounce. Google also, not much girth to it, but did hold yesterday's low. and perking up a little bit. Maybe it's easy to move to here. Not a 52-week high trade, but just something. Same thing with Amazon. Amazon, we talked about kind of see the 8-day. Well, a lot of these things came back to the 8-day. The 8-day has been the trend to the downside. If that were to get reclaimed, maybe you see the 21-day, and that's how we use our roadmap. Other than that, a lot of guys have been looking for a pullback in the banks. There was some news that Diamond might be Treasury Secretary. I think that would be unbelievable for America, but I'm not getting into that. All in all, though, technically, it'd be nice if J.P. Morgan could actually see the 8-day and be buyable. This would be a good spot. If you sold strength because things went parabolic, you want to be able to buy a dip. So buying a dip around this 75, 77 would be a good spot. Okay, same thing for some of these other banks, Bank of America. A lot of people want exposure because I'm thinking 24 to 26 next year. So the last thing you want to do is chase it. It's had a big move. We've been talking about that actually ever since here. A lot of guys have a swing trade long on. But anyway, we'll see if this comes in, sees the 8-day or fills the gap, and then maybe it's buyable because on the weekly chart, I'm thinking, first, obviously, look how extended that is on the weekly. But if you go back, it really, from where it came from the financial crisis, I'm thinking 24 to 26. That'll probably be my 2017 thesis that, you could see that kind of move in Bank of America. So, if you're not just trading it, actually maybe even a little higher. You could probably see this kind of spot, but we shall see. Anyway, this has been a long base, and it's just poking its head there. It's been under consolidation since 2009. That's 7 years of channeling. So I do think that there could be something there longer term, but we're talking short-term trading now. Then you have some of the new issues. I was long Twilio overnight. Why was I long Twilio overnight? Not because it's above the 8 and 20 day, not because there's momentum, because I thought there could be a good bounce, right? If you sold it when it broke this prior high, or you sold it when this trend broke here, below the 8 and 21 day, you had the luxury of buying it like I did yesterday when it took back the 8-day for a move to the 21 day. So now it already went to the 21 day, 2 days. I probably could have held some, but I sold it. A nice day-and-a-half trade. That's what could pay the bills, day-and-a-half trades. And TNX gave us some clues that could be done from these lower levels. Look at this NTNX. Also, wide range bar here. Okay, I bought it yesterday when it cleared this spot, held some overnight, and had a little follow through. Now, I think it's going to need some time to base above this, and then at some point, perhaps if it wants to continue, there could be another trade here. But from here to there, now I think, into some resistance, it needs some time to prove it can go higher. That was your oversold bounce. ACIA, in my note, I talked about if I can get through, 74-ish, whatever it was, this prior high. You can get a trade also, and this went through 75 and wasn't a blockbuster, but it went to 79, 4 points. Okay, again, these are just trades. You have to know tactical or how to approach these things tactically if you're looking for cash flow besides swing moves. Sometimes it's great to hold on to things, and sometimes you want day-and-a-half or 1 to 3 day trades, and when things are broken and you're not caught, you can catch those. TLT, just to end it because I got to get going. Broken, very broken, right? When did it break? When it broke here, when it broke below the 8 and 21 day. When else did it break? When it broke below the 200 day before the election. Now it's poking up a little bit. So, I am long a little bit. I do think that maybe there's a trade. What would be awesome is if this could rally to here, so I could play the TLT long from here to about 124, sell it, and in the same time, the banks pull back a little bit more and buy the banks near the 8-day and do a, sell this and then buy that. What do I mean by buy that? Just like, say, even Citigroup. Meaning like, this has had a big move. I still think there's more in the tank here. This was when we played it for a breakout. Now, let the TLT go up and let the banks come into the 8-day and then buy around the 8-day and then, see if it can continue. So that's what you got to do. You got to move and groove. Last 2 days, it's all been about tech and the bounce in oil. Before that, it was all about the small caps, the materials, the bios, and the Dow. And now, the last day or so, we had a decent move in the S&P, and now we'll figure out if we can get another one of those. You had a bottom trade in the new issues, and and you had a huge momentum move in the shippers. I didn't get involved in that. I like trading the crazy stuff, but there were guys on the VTF doing that. If that's you and you made money, congratulations. That those you use your momentum rules with extreme care. But all in all, Wednesday, it's a week since the election. Feels as if the media that gave, President-elect Trump a pass ever since he made his gracious acceptance speech, which is what I did too. I figured he was really, doing the right thing and playing nice and wanting to bring both sides in, and he's still doing that. But the headlines are starting to get a little shakier about his chief of staff, about his transition team, about this. So it could cause some volatility. So the honeymoon period of the week where everyone wanted to play nice seems like it's not as play nice. So we'll just see how that unfolds moving forward. But anyway, the key is drowning out the noise, reading my note, watching the videos, looking at your own plan, figuring out where you have consistencies, making some cash flow with your rules and your process, and moving forward. That's what we aim to do here. Have a good night.